Beloveds, let us love one another. For God is of love, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. The one who does not love does not know God, for God is love. And so we hold each other in love, even as we hold each other in grief. Friends, what a joy it is to be in this place, to be with each of you as we worship our God who loves us beyond measure. Friends, let's prepare our hearts as we begin to worship God.
They sat and ate, and did eat. Jesus said, Verily I say unto you, one of you which eateth with me shall betray me.
My name is Nathaniel, although I am sometimes called Bartholomew. Like many of the others, I am a fisherman. I am a disciple of John the Baptizer, and it was John who introduced me to Jesus at Bethany beyond the Jordan. It was my friend Philip who came to see me and said, We have found him of whom Moses in the laws and the prophets wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. I will never forget the question I put to Philip that day. Can anything good come from Nazareth? I said it not in scorn, but the town was such a little insignificant place that those of us familiar with her lanes and alleys wondered why God would place his anointed in her midst. However, simply, Philip responded, Come and see. When I saw Jesus, he said, Behold, an Israelite with whom there is no guile. How do you know me? I asked. He replied, Before Philip, you were under the fig tree, and I saw you. In my country, when working mothers go to the fields, they place their babes under the shade of the nearest fig tree. The large leaves shelter the babies from the hot rays of the sun. So the master was actually telling me that he has known me since I was born. Then it was that I confessed my faith. Rabbi, I said, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. Since that time I have served him as a disciple and a chosen apostle. And now, when he is instituting a ceremony to replace the Passover, he tells us that one of us is to betray him. How can that be? How can a traitor be among his closest allies? I keep asking myself, is it I? Is it I?
My name is Philip. I come from Bethany of Galilee. While all of my friends and I were listening to John the Baptist preach, he called upon us to become his disciples. Since then, we all turned to follow him. I remember so well, before he fed the thousands with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes, asking him and the others, where are we to buy bread at this hour? Another time, when the Greeks came to interview him, I led them to Andrew, who brought them to the teacher. When Jesus began telling us that God was our Heavenly Father, I could not understand. But as he continued to teach, I began to comprehend. In fact, now I can almost say that I see God through Jesus. Through everything I see in the Heavenly Father, I also see in him. And anything that I would not want to see in a Heavenly Father, I do not find in Jesus. And now, having finally seen the Father through Jesus Christ, he tells us there's a betrayer in our midst. Does the traitor not realize that betraying Jesus is the same as betraying God? That conspiring against him is the same as conspiring against our Heavenly Father? Who in our midst could be this blind? Can it be Philip? Is it I? Is it I?